Welcome to Trader Vision 2020 and the Trader Vision community. My name's Ed Carter, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm the designer behind the Trader Vision software. I'd like to thank you for trying our program and congratulate you on taking the first step towards controlling your emotions, making better decisions, and improving your trading results. In this short video, I'd like to show you how to get started with Trader Vision and recommend a few useful resources. I'll also set some expectations about what you should look forward to over the next 30 days. In other words, I want to outline how we're going to help you get the most out of your Trader Vision trial. However, before we get started with those things, I'd like to discuss how you're going to evaluate Trader Vision. Everybody's going to make their own decision, and everybody will have their own criteria and priorities for measuring the trial. While I don't think it's reasonable for you to believe you'll become expert enough to teach classes in Trader Vision, for example, after just 30 days of part-time use, I do think it's very fair for you to expect to be capable of performing all the normal functions quite well. So that's our goal for the next 30 days, is to get you to a point where you're very capable of handling all the functions of the software. With that said, I'd like to suggest a few things for you to consider as you evaluate the program. First, I'd like to set a baseline. So please consider your trades over the last 30 days. And by the way, you received a file attached to the email which contains this in written form, so you can print this out and just jot down your answers. But I'd like you to answer some questions about those trades over the last 30 days. How many of those trades were wins and how many were losses? What was your dollar and percentage gain over that time? How much risk did you take on each trade in dollar or percentage terms? How big were your positions relative to your account size? In other words, were you risking 10% of your account or 1% of your account? What was the risk-reward ratio of each trade? So again, were you risking $1 to make $5 or were you risking $1 to make 50 cents? Were you trading with or against the overall market? I mean both the short-term and longer-term market trends. And once you entered those positions and you were trying to manage them, did you know the price the stock had to reach in order for the trade to break even each time? Did you know the price you had to reach in order to make your goal for the trade? At all times, were you aware of the current gain and loss of the trade? Did you know the gain and loss dollars and percent at the stop loss price and remaining target prices, even if you had moved the stop? Were you aware of the current remaining risk-reward ratio between the current stop, even if you moved it, and the next target above? Over all those trades, did you fall behind schedule? Were you on schedule? Or were you ahead of schedule towards meeting your longer-term goals? And how does that performance impact what you need to do this coming month or in this coming trade to stay on schedule? Finally, as you look back over those 30 days and all the trades you made, are there any patterns? Were there particular setups that worked regularly for you or ones that failed consistently? And how are all those things going to impact how you trade this next trade or over this next month? I'd like you to ask yourself these questions now and ask yourself the same questions at the end of the trial. If you do that, I think there are really two fundamental issues that will guide your decision whether or not to buy Trader Vision. The first one is whether the difference in your responses to those questions now and those questions at the end of the trial are worth more than the price of Trader Vision. And the second question or issue is, do you have a better or cheaper way to achieve those same changes between now and the answers you give at the end of the trial, as opposed to using TraderVision? If you can answer those two questions, I think it's pretty clear whether or not you should purchase TraderVision. Okay, with the evaluation part out of the way, let's move on to getting started. When you completed your order for the trial version, you should have received an email very similar to the one you see on the screen now. In it, you'll note that we have download links for both the Windows and Mac version. The process is first to download the file, the installation file, and you just click on this link that's appropriate for your operating system. That should start the download. If for any reason that does not work, you can right-click this, copy the link location, and paste it into your browser address bar and hit enter. In either case, you should see a download that will look very similar to this. And that download is done. It only takes a few seconds, and it will take longer for the Mac version because the difference in the operating systems, the Mac file is much larger. But in either case, it should only take a moment, and now you're ready to install. I do want to make you aware that depending on your operating system security settings and any security software that you're running, such as an antivirus program, I don't know, Norton, McAfee, there are many. It is possible you will be warned when you try to run the installation program that the file may be dangerous. If you are warned that, I can assure you that TraderVision is pre-checked for viruses. I run it through a tool that checks using 53 different virus scanning engines, and it has never come back in the 50 or so times that I've run it through that tool. It never come back with more than one or two of the engines finding anything suspicious. And frankly, 1 out of 53 is about as clean as you'll ever get, just because there's variations in how those different companies view as anything that would potentially be suspicious. At any rate, once you get past the security issues, and if you can't, we can certainly help you through support. I'll be happy to do it. In worst case, I will do a remote support session and help you get it installed. But once you get past that, the installation process is very quick. You just click Next. You want to install both the program files and the desktop shortcut. Just use the default location, click Install, and it's done. Now you're ready to run TraderVision for the first time. What I recommend you do is open that email back up, because you'll notice it has the license key, it has the email address that was used, and of course your name will have to be entered the same way that it was entered in the order. But all you have to do now is run TraderVision, and I guess the simplest way is going to be through Apps, hit and run Candlesticks, TraderVision 2020, and you'll see that here my security system is warning me, and I click to ignore that warning from now on. Now if I open the email, I can copy and paste that license number into the file, enter my name, and enter the email address. Again, I could copy and paste this. And I do recommend that you actually copy and paste, because I've actually had somebody that made a typo in their email address, and that caused an issue. You'll get the message after you hit Submit Registration that the registration was successfully completed. You click OK and you're ready to go. Before we wrap things up, I do want to point out three very useful resources to you, and I hope you take advantage of these. The first is the manual and tutorials page. You can access this by using the manual button within the application. Uh, of course, you do see the address up here, or you can access it from the website menu. So you would go to hitandruncandlesticks.com under Products, TraderVision 2020 Tutorial, and that will take you to the same web page. On this page, you'll see that we've got several written guides, including a 90-page user manual. We've also got about a dozen video tutorials, including a 30-minute overview, and the rest of them are somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes in length, covering an individual aspect of the program. This is a very useful tool, and I highly recommend that you take advantage of it. The second resource I want to point out is the help page, which is accessible from the help button within the application. Again, you would press that button and it would take you to the web page, a page that will cover several aspects of the program, including the warning colors, how the calculations for the recommended shares to buy or sell are set up, what the comparison index or ETF means or how that is used, and then information about shorting and margin costs, that sort of thing. And the third resource I want to point out is the support tickets, which you can access again through the support button or from the menu on the website. Again, hitandruncandlesticks.com, products, TraderVision, support. And that will take you to this form where you can fill out your contact information and describe your question or issue in detail, and we'll get back to you very quickly. That's all I had for this first video. I do want to thank you again for trying TraderVision, and we look forward to working with you over the next month and hopefully on into the future. Until next time, I wish you good luck in the market.